Hello everyone, JG here, the author of Blizzard, and welcome back to episode 5 of the BlizzardHailstorm Audiobook. As always, if you'd like to follow along, there's a link to the book in the description. All that being said, let's get started. Act 4, The Sewers. The new team of Esther, Rouge, and Espio do not have to get far in the ruins of the Crisis District to run into trouble. Out of the corner of his eye, Espio spotted a silhouette of a heavily armed animal running behind a building. Espio immediately identified him. "Stop," Espio said with a quiet whisper voice. "There's a bounty hunter directly to our right." "What do we do, ninja boy?" Rouge whispered as she flapped her wings very slightly, hardly making a sound. "Don't make any sudden moves," Espio replied. The bunny hunter then gasped and immediately bolted away through an alley that led to a nearby street. "Go!" Espio shouted. "We can't let him get away." Rouge, Fu, and Espio ran as fast as they could after the bounty hunter, while poor Esther was trudging behind. She was very tired, not having slept since she was in prison. Thanks to that and her slowness, she was sent running almost aimlessly after the footsteps and wings of Espio and Rouge throughout the ruins of this forsaken district. Eventually, she found Espio and Rouge poking in a sewer cap, and she sat down, panting nearby. "He went down there," Espio said. He stopped moving the cap and looked at Esther. "I heard you were strong. Can you do anything about this?" It took all her strength to get up, slam her gauntlets together, and throw the cap to the side. Inside there was a ladder leading downwards into the sewer. The stench was harsh but bearable, and the walls and floor of the sewers were grayish-blue, with the floor being dark on the walls, and the filthy water had a greenish tint to it. "Ew," Rouge sighed as she looked down, flapping her wings as she approached the sewer. "See you at the bottom, I guess." And she jumped down with Espio following after her. Esther then began her long, slow, painful descent down the ladder. When she got to the end of it, she fell to the ground, crawled to a wall, and sat there. It stretched endlessly to the left and to the right, leaving the team at Crossroads. Espio was looking left to right as Rouge watched him. "Darn it," Espio sighed. "We lost." "I need," Esther gasped, "a rest." "That's all right," Espio said. "You can probably spare an hour. We need our leader her best anyway." Rouge propped down next to Esther, and the LaPerm fell asleep with her back on the wall. Espio sat away from them, as far away from Rouge as possible. After about an hour, Esther woke to Rouge standing and nudging her shoulder. She was now lying on her side with her head resting on her hands. "Wakey, wakey," Rouge said in a playful voice, now changing to her normal tone. "It's time to go." Espio found us some food and water, so you can have a quick snack and a drink before we get going. Esther got up, and Espio handed her the food. "I'll keep track of our supplies to make sure we don't run out," Espio said. Esther nodded and gave a sigh of relief. What grabbed one more responsibility was taken from her. Once Esther was done with their humble yet fulfilling meal, the three of them had to decide which way to go. "What do you think?" Espio asked the two. Rouge turned to her left, sniffed, then turned to her right and did the same thing. "What are you doing?" Esther asked. Rouge then pointed to her right. "It's that way." "How do you know?" Espio asked. "These bounty hunters are filthy, and it smells a lot worse down there," Rouge laughed. "When in doubt, always follow your nose." Then she flew off into the other direction, with Espio and Esther following. The sewers were virtually the same as they went on, with the only difference in being the occasional ladder or rat, and that the water began to grow more green as they approached the functioning, non-ruined parts of the city. They would also occasionally encounter a fork in the road, at which Rouge would perform her sniffing trick again and determine which way to go, which was usually to the right. The rest benefited Esther greatly, for although Rouge and Esther had to go slower for her to keep up, she was able to maintain a steady pace as she sped through the sewers. Sometimes the boring mundaneness of those sewers would cause her to lose track of time, though, and she would forget if they had been running there for 5 minutes or 5 years. As they ran, Esther asked, "Why are we following this hunter?" "These hunters have always been connected with Magnopus, right?" Espio said. "So a good lead would be finding a bounty hunter in the city that Magnopus last attacked." Magnopus. Esther had been too tired to get super mad at him before, but now, being slightly more rested, she could remember all that he did to her. She remembered her vision, and she saw at the Eggman base her old orphanage burned to ashes. All the pain, all the suffering, all the death. Her rage began to echo around her body, evident by her shafts shaking in slow pace. Rouge and Espio noticed this. After the former floated down, the latter was the first to say something. "Esther, are you alright?" All the rage in Esther boiled into response. "No, I'm not alright. I can't keep thinking about Magnopus. I know we're bringing him to justice, but he's inflicts so much evil on me. I can't stand thinking of him." Espio and Rouge looked at each other, and then looked back at Esther. "Esther," Espio said, "you need to let those feelings go." Esther shook her head. "I don't even know if I could, even if he repented, let alone now when he's still as active as ever." "You don't have to wait until you know he's longer harming people to let go of your feelings. If you do, holding on to your grudges like that will cause you to lose yourself and act like a beast who only seeks revenge. You'll end up killing yourself with that mindset," Espio said. "So I just move on from him somehow?" "It's easier said than done," Rouge said. "This stuff usually takes time, but for the sake of the mission, it's got to be done as quickly as possible." "Alright," Esther said. "I can try." "Great," Rouge said as she took to the skies again. "Now let's go." They took to the sewers again and kept following their path to the right. Throughout the journey, Esther's thoughts continued to focus on Magnopus. To get around this, she began to banish her thoughts from her mind. She was not able to let go of her grudges quite yet, but if she did not think about him, it would be hard for her to get mad so easily. Eventually, the three of them saw that the water was now almost neon with its green color and was growing brightly. A doe is just wasting there, Espio remarked. There must be something up ahead changing its color. And something there was. A little further on, there was an opening in the sewers from whence all this thing came, which led to a massive room that stopped midair with a ladder beneath it. The neon water flowed down to a large room, filling it almost like a waterfall into a river. Many entrances were like that all around it. The room, contrasting the rest of the sewer, was not empty. It was filled with small wooden buildings, almost like a small marketplace, coupled with the sounds of animals and sentient creatures. At the very back of it was a massive stage with a giant skull decoration on it, matching the other bone decor around the area. At that forsaken place, Esther saw many bounty hunters, maybe hundreds of them, and by the back near the stage, she saw, with her haze-white eyes, a few of the purple shades themselves. This, being the first time she had ever seen one, caused her cold, smoky demeanor to reach into her soul and give her a chill down her spine. "So the rumors are true," said Rouge. "So they are," Espio replied. "The skull post is real."